Remember the dot-com crash? Oh, you missed it? Don't worry, because there's about to be a sequel. Even AI's biggest funding junkie is throwing out quotes like, "Someone's gonna get burned," and "Investors are overexcited about AI right now." If this is coming from the guy who's raising $500 billion, I think it might be the time we took a closer look, before we all end up like Yahoo. We have already mentioned what Sam has said, but let's understand that a little bit more before we go further. To the delight of OpenAI investors, Sam has been throwing out less than bullish quotes about the state of AI. Now, these quotes are like a gold digger Siva model telling their billionaire husband that buying them a Birkin is dangerous. So, why is Sam doing this? Well, it's because if there is a bubble, even OpenAI, the biggest AI company out there, they won't be safe. And he knows it. Let's go over what Sam sees and why he knows this will be bad not just for him, but also for you. I got my life savings in AI, and if this bubble pops, the editing budget will be lowered even more than it already is. And you don't want that. Right now, tons of huge AI companies are throwing the defense budget of the UK at huge data centers. In 2025 alone, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Google are all going to be spending $300 billion on compute. Like any good investment, it needs to actually pay them back. If they don't succeed in this, that is when you get a bubble. And the nerds at MIT are not doing the AI hype lords like Sam Altman any favors. In fact, is that a grey hair? Just a couple of months ago, the first rumblings about AI began to occur, and it's not Mark Andreessen's belly. In July of 2025, MIT released a study named Gen AI Divide, State of AI in Business 2025. I think they should have swapped out state with end because they wrote this study like Ronaldo played Champions League semi-finals. The study did a really big deep dive across 52 companies across multiple industries on the impact of AI, or more like the lack of impact. Let me explain. It found that virtually all industries, other than the tech industry, had seen little or no change. But it does not stop there, let me tell you. The result of this is going to give Sam a full head of grey hair. On average, the study revealed that 95% of AI integrations failed to yield any profit. Basically saying, 95% of AI is useless right now in business. Sadly for poor Sam, the study did not stop its thrashing there. Across the organizations measured, only 5% actually managed to get AI working within their company. You hear that, Wall Street? But perhaps, potentially the most damning piece of evidence so far, brace yourself Sam, is that these companies combined had spent $40 billion on AI, with only 5% of them making a return. This teaches us one thing: investing in AI is more risky than gambling in Vegas, because in Vegas, you've got higher odds than 5%. See, I told you this was a bubble. You're probably still skeptical, so let me convince you a little more. I've just told you a bunch of facts, and you're probably sitting there with your finger up your nose wondering what all this means. For you to actually believe me that the bubble is bursting, you need to know what one is. And judging from that confused look on your face, you really need my help. Let's look at examples from the past. I'm going to use the dot-com crash as the perfect case study. When technology is new or deemed revolutionary, it creates a massive splash. For example, during the 90s, the internet was seen as a portal into a new world, the future. Because of this, people started pouring money into companies left and right. Here's the key: they invested because they heard it would be revolutionary, not because the numbers made sense. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Money in and money out. Take Pets.com for example, one of the most infamous examples. In February of 2000, they raised $82 million. Then they IPO'd at $11 a share, and within 9 months of their peak, they were dead. Why? Because the shipping costs were too high, margins were too thin, and the business model made 0 sense. Sound familiar? AI companies today are burning through billions of dollars for quote-unquote compute without a plan to profit. Different decade, same delusion. Bubbles are also fueled by something called FOMO, fear of missing out, which drives even the smartest investors to make emotional choices. That's what inflates values way beyond reality, until one day, the hype can't hold it anymore. And when that happens, the same investors who shouted AI is the future suddenly remember remember that they don't actually like losing money and do a 180 on their portfolio. Okay, so now we've got two things happening. Big tech is burning cash on GPUs and AI chips, but every serious study out there says the same thing. They're not getting their money back. So why is the math not mathing? Because this, my friend, is exactly what a bubble looks like. When Gen AI kicked off back in late 2022, every new model drop felt like a revolution. GPT-3 to GPT 3.5 felt huge. GPT-4 to O1 felt, good enough. Each upgrade felt like jumping from dial-up internet to Starlink. Everyone was losing their minds, and rightfully so. But then came GPT-5, and the hype machine went full theater mode. Sam Altman came out looking like he was about to unveil the next iPhone. Fancy new UI, cinematic trailers, this changes everything, interviews. You'd have thought it could cure cancer. Then you actually try it, and it's like, wait, this feels like GPT-4. Even AI researchers have started quietly saying the same thing. Ilya Sutskever, one of OpenAI's founders, literally said that data is fossil fuel for AI. And you should trust this guy, because his company is worth $30 billion without products or revenue. We've hit the point where the models are getting bigger but not smarter, companies are squeezing out 5% improvements and marking them like divine miracles. It's like watching someone polish a car they already crashed. But when you actually strip away the lights and marketing and look at the actual model jump, it's not shiny. But something that is shiny, besides Jeff Bezos' head, is the excuse companies are using for the mass layoffs. Recently, Bezos even called AI a bubble, and it's starting to show. Amazon, one of the biggest tech giants on the planet, laid off around 2,000 employees, while Microsoft cut 10,000, Intel slashed nearly 20,000, and Oracle also laid off 2,000. And the official reason, quote-unquote, AI-driven efficiency. But let's be real. That's corporate PR. What's really happening is AI is being used as a smokescreen for overhiring, declining profits, and investor pressure. These companies are cutting humans and hyping automation to keep their stock price shiny, while the hype train is still rolling. And that's exactly why AI is showing all the signs of a bubble. Here's the truth. In every bubble, someone walks away with a yacht and someone walks away in debt. The winners, the execs cashing out early, and the companies who used quote-unquote AI as a buzzword to inflate their valuation and just long enough to dump it on retail investors. The losers, you, me, and LifeLeak, this channel's editing quality.